55 Sports. This is The Locker Room.
Hey, welcome back. Justin Prince, Peter Hood. And Pete, that's a wrap for the high school football regular season. Hard to believe. Congrats to everyone. It's now time to look ahead to the tournament.
And who better
I agree.
to help us do that than our man Justin Kinney from Optimum Performance Sports and Outside the Huddle. He joins us live in studio tonight. Jay Kinney, how you been, man? Long time no see.
Yeah, no kidding.
I know. I thought maybe I said something I shouldn't have last time I was on here because I didn't get an invite back for a while.
You're good, man. We love having you on, and it's time to break down some postseason. We'll save classes 6A and 5A for next week. They don't start until the following week. So we'll start in Class 4A tonight. We'll do so in Sectional 19. And Kenny, this is a loaded one. A lot of good teams. Columbia City, East Noble, Angola, Leo, Northridge. What do you see in this bracket, and who do you like?
Well, you look at that first-round matchup with Leo and Northridge, real mirror images of each other. They play very good defense. They like to run the football. And so Leo probably couldn't have gotten a worse draw, if you look at it, having to go to Northridge next week to start that thing off. But I do like the Lions. I think they can make some plays vertically when they need to. It's going to be a difficult road for anybody who wins this sectional. But I see the Lions coming through this thing, maybe beating an East Noble in a rematch of a regular season game there in that sectional championship game.
All right, we move on to Class 3A, Sectional 27. Concordia, they're going to take on Peru. We got Oak Hill at Belmont, Northwestern and Maconaquah, Heritage, and Norwell. I think Concordia took this one last year, but obviously a much improved Norwell team on the bottom half of that bracket. Who do you like there, Jay Kenny?
Well, you look at a matchup between Concordia and Norwell as probably being your championship game in that one. I can tell you, though, right now, guys, that Heritage-Norwell game scheduled for next Friday will actually be played on Saturday.
Yep.
Because of some COVID things, so Heritage completely getting their week in of practice next week. So, Norwell looked good in coming back tonight against Columbia City at home. It's going to be strength on strength with that Norwell defense and Concordia defense. But you look at it, I like Norwell, really. I keep going back and forth with these two teams. Right now, how can you pick against the Knights with how they're playing? Arguably the second best team in the Northeast State behind the Leo Lions.
Yeah, if Concordia and Norwell meet up in the sectional championship, points may be hard to come by in that one. Two very good defenses. All right, down in Class 2A, another one, Kenny, a lot of really good teams in this sectional. We're talking about Sectional 35. Eastside has to travel down to Bluffton, the NECC champs, taking on an 8-1 Bluffton team. And then down on the bottom half of the bracket, you've obviously got Bishop Luers. Record isn't great, but the SAC obviously tough. And then Fairfield, the undefeated Big Division NECC champ. Who's the favorite? Who do you like?
Well, you look at Eastside, who won their first ever sectional championship a year ago, and now they, I feel, are a better football team than they were in 2019. I think they're the favorite here. They have a tough one to open up with Bluffton next week. But don't sleep on Bishop Luers. We talk so much about this competition that Luers plays each and every week in the SAC. They're going to have their hands full against Fairfield in that second-round matchup, an undefeated team, and that triple option that is so difficult to contain. But the athletes of Bishop Luers, if they show up and show out ready to play, they could be a challenge to Fairfield. But I think when we look at complete football teams, Eastside is the one in this sectional. I would pick the Blazers.
I think they made a pretty firm statement tonight in that last game.
They did,
season.
I would agree there. Finally, Class 1A, we got Sectional 44. Some very good teams once again in this one. Obviously, Churubusco, a little bit of a down year for them, but still always tough. You got Adams Central taking on a much-improved Fremont team. And then, of course, we got that good rematch there on the bottom half of that bracket between Northfield and 1A number 3 Southwood. Who do you like?
Southwood is the team here. I know a lot of people want to see that rematch between Adams Central and South Adams in a regional. But Southwood looks really legit. I think Adams Central has a chance to knock them off, but that is a rivalry that's become really interesting over the last 4 or 5 years in the postseason. These teams have ran into each other a lot, sectional and regional. So I expect AC Southwood to fight for that sectional title, and I'm taking the Knights. I really like the Knights team this year and how they've played, and could they be a difficult out for South Adams in a regional matchup?
Yeah, it's so hard to pick against Dave Snyder this time of year. year. I mean, it seems like he's always got his teams playing really well. All right, so we've looked at, and we're not going to look at South Adams sectional because I think foregone conclusion, Starfire's probably penciled them into the regional. Speaking of South Adams, so Kenny, when we had you on first show of the season, I'm going to put you on the spot a little bit here.
All right.
You said South Adams and Bishop Dwenger had the best chances to make it of all of our area teams to make it down to Lucas Oil Stadium. Are you amending that, or are you adding any teams, subtracting any teams, or is it still Bishop Dwenger and South Adams the favorites to make it down?
Ooh, what if I told you I'm sticking with it?
Sticking with your guns. I respect it, man.
You know, I like South Adams' road in 1A. They're loaded. As long as they show up ready to play and don't overlook anybody, they're going to be favored in every single game, including the 1A championship game if they get there. And I like Bishop Dwenger because the road is easier. 6A is rough. 4A is rough. You have Bishop Dwenger sitting there in 5A with a pretty solid road to get there, but then they have Cathedral waiting in the state championship game. So hopefully they get there. Another thing completely if they can knock off Cathedral.
It'll be interesting. I'm just glad we're playing a state tournament.
Same. Right? Same. Looking forward to it. Thank you, Justin, for swinging on by.
Appreciate it. Anytime, fellas.
Same, man.